Well, what does this mean that this country will speak like a dragon? Well, in the book of Revelations chapter 12 and verse 9, we see that the dragon is a symbolism used to represent the devil, Satan himself. But hold on, that is just the primary symbolism of the dragon. For in Revelations chapter 12 and verse 3, we see another entity coming into view that is also symbolized by the dragon. And I quote Revelations chapter 12 and verse 3 at this time, "And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads." End of quote. This great red dragon, we know, represents the pagan Roman Empire. Did you catch that? From a study of the book of Revelations chapter 12, we know that the dragon of Revelations chapter 12 and verse 3 represents the pagan Roman Empire. And according to Revelations chapter 13 and verse 11, the United States of America, the lamb-like beast, will one day begin to speak like the dragon or the pagan Roman Empire. Well, what does this mean that the United States of America will one day speak like pagan Rome? Well, according to the book Great Controversy, on page 442, and I quote, "The speaking of a nation is the action of its legislative and judicial authorities." End of quote. According to this information that we just heard from Great Controversy, page 442, one day the United States of America, which professes to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, one day the United States of America, which professes to promote the virtues of Jesus Christ, will begin to make laws in their court system. They will begin to pass legislations in their legislative bodies that resemble the laws that were passed in pagan Rome under the influence of the devil himself. Now, can you believe it? Can you believe that one day the country that defends the freedom of conscience will begin to speak like pagan Rome? If you know anything about the history of pagan Rome, you know that pagan Rome was notorious for making laws that persecuted those who would not go along with the dictates of its Caesars. And one day we are told that the United States of America will make laws that will persecute those that will not go along with its dictates? But I thought this was a country that was for the people and by the people. I thought this was a country that defended the freedom of conscience. Well, no. One day this country will begin to make laws just like pagan Rome. It will set in place laws that will go against your freedom of conscience. It will set in place laws that will persecute those who will not go along with its tyranny. I know it may be hard to believe, but the Bible has foretold that this shall happen, and it shall come to pass. For God is the one that speaks, and it is done. And when he commands, it will always stand fast, according to Psalms chapter 33 and verse 9. But although the Bible prophesies all these things will come to pass, there are still those that are skeptics. There are still those who decide that they will stand on the sidelines and just wait to see if such a thing could be possible. But brothers and sisters, what if some don't believe? What difference does it make? For the book of Romans chapter 3 and verse 3 said, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid. Yea, let God be true and every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and that thou mightest overcome when thou art judged. End of quote. We are living in the very last scenes of this earth's history. We have now come to the very climax of prophetic events. The question is not whether or not these things will come to pass. The question that we all need to internalize is, will we be prepared when they do? This country is soon to speak like a dragon. Will you be ready? In the next scenes that you're about to see, I want you to take very close attention to every point that is presented. You might be amazed. You might be astounded. But it's the only way you'll be prepared for what is soon to come to pass and overtake the majority of this world as an overwhelming flood of surprise. May God help us as we move in harmony with prophecy as it comes to pass.